You don't shoot those fire. Wait.
No, my best ever.
You look much too quiet. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if that's just my sound or. Oh yeah. Okay. I gotta just fuck with my Astros.
No, you're fine. I'll be home in like 3 minutes.
Alright. I feel like that. Alright. Well, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all.
Welcome.
It's the Partycast. You cannot hear Derek. His mic is way too quiet. Stop my car so I can...
Show us your boobs!
Proper introductions. That is not a proper introduction. It's the Partycast. It's the... Wait, what we...
It's the only thing I can... It's the only thing I can say with that much enthusiasm.
On the fly. It's the on the fly podcast. Episode 1-ish Genesis. If you
Genesis,
because episode
Regenesis.
no, it's just Genesis now because because the Regenesis was last episode. So now it's the official Genesis. I'm your host, Josho. With me as always.
You were gonna go in that order.
The order of what? Why would it?
I would have said ungenesis.
Should we make this one ungenesis then?
No, ungenesis would have been yesterday. Today is just Genesis, and
what?
then tomorrow would be Regenesis.
Okay, well fuck it. We'll make this one this is the Regenesis then, and yesterday's was the ungenesis. So this is the
Regenesis.
So this is the Regenesis of the Genesis pod, episode 1-ish. 1-ish is in the title. You see it there. I forgot I can't be driving my car while Derek's in the car because in real life then we won't hear him. So we're just gonna run away from that and I'll sit somewhere quietly while we do introductions. I'm Josho. Singing that song is D is Raging. We will have our possibly Erin join us possibly in the studio, but possibly not because she's very eepy and she's all tuckered out for the day, so she might not be able to join us today. Derek, how was work?
And she hates
And she hates who? Who does she hate?
Me.
Us?
Me.
You. Yeah, I was gonna say because probably not me. Erin's yelling from the couch very eepily. She likes Derek very much. She hates Joe. Which after I just misgendered her, that's actually kind of appropriate to say in that circumstance. so welcome everybody. It's the Regenesis of the Genesis, episode 1-ish. I'm Josho. With me is D is Raging. We have so much to talk about today because I've been writing stuff down now for about a day and a half. So there's planning for you. But
start at the top.
But unfortunately, I lost my phone between the time that I sat down and the time I hit broadcast. So now
you lost your phone again?
Well, I didn't lose it. It's just not currently in my possession.
Got it.
So it's like somewhere probably in this room. I just don't see it, feel it, or hear it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, here it is. See? Found it. It was right on the floor.
Found it.
So first things first.
It's always the last place you look, you know?
It always is, or the first place you look. So I'm gonna pull up my notes, but while we're doing that, D is Raging. How was your work day?
It's good. It was good. I am starting to get to the point where I am developing into the director of my sector in the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning a bunch of new stuff with the back end paperwork and how to charge people money and how to get money or how to pay people. And, it's
like payroll, like payroll stuff.
No, invoices.
Okay. Okay.
So we have vendors. We have vendors that, in my specific circumstance, they're engineers that are signing and sealing documents.
Okay.
Because it's required anytime you go do any type of construction like we do. So
right.
We source that out to other engineers because we don't have the time that's not really what we want to focus on. But nonetheless, kind of a funny story. I let Wiz out today, my dog, and somehow one of my gates was open,
Real
and I
quick,
didn't hear him barking.
real quick, you said you were with your dog?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what kind of dog do you have? Like, I know, but obviously.
Pomeranian Chihuahua. His name
So,
is Wiz.
so yeah, little guy.
Little guy.
Little wizard.
Yeah, so I let him out today, and the gate was open, and he took off. And it's funny because, most of these people, like, whenever their dogs take off, they take off. But
right.
Wiz won't leave, like, a 3-house perimeter around mine.
That sounds like him.
He was out there outside for a good, like, 25, 30 minutes before I realized, like, he was still out there and not barking. I went out there and saw the gate open.
Oh, my goodness.
And I walked around to the side of my neighbor's house, and well, it's my house. I walked around the side of the house next to mine, and just like walked towards the back, and he's just sitting there at my back gate chilling.
That is hilarious. Now, obviously, again, I know, but for people that don't know, like how close are the houses how close are the house, like your neighbors to your house? Like, is it a far distance? You guys like have a big yard? Okay, so he's not going anywhere, not farther than like 50 feet from the house at any time.
Well, there's 12 feet, house 12 feet, so I would say 150 feet is about the farthest he'll go.
So yeah, that's fantastic.
But
so that's good of you to forget your dog for 20 minutes. Actually, I'm calling. What's the animal people?
Humane Society?
No, the other one. That's for humans.
No,
no,
it's not.
The bigger one. IPA. Oh, okay. No, Aaron says Humane Society too. I was going for IPA or something. I don't know. So for
EPA.
EPA, there it is. I'm calling EPA.
APA. It's APA.
APA? Is that what I'm trying to say?
Animal Protection Agency.
Yeah, I'm calling the big guys.
Well, listen. They're gonna say, hold on. He had the option to do whatever the hell he wanted for 30 minutes, and he chose to stay.
Yeah.
You must not be that bad.
He's a good boy.
He is a great dog.
For the viewers, I was gonna go get that treasure chest, but apparently it's underwater, and I guess the game wants you like to dive down from those cliffs, into the water, but like I still can't. I've been in that cave before, and you'll drown. So there must be some type of breathing apparatus that you get. Derek, I wanted to ask you about, because you were talking about work there for a second, actually. Nope, I was completely different thought. But what I would, well, I think I have to move actually our top subject to episode.
How's it going?
1-ish, 2, or episode 2, because it's too much. But I do want to talk about some disclosure updates that have happened over the last couple of days.
With Shohei Ohtani?
Huh?
With Shohei Ohtani?
Who is Shohei Ohtani? Did I know who that is?
He's the highest paid athlete in the world's history right now.
Does he play baseball, I'm assuming, then?
Yep.
Why? What did he say?
He's the greatest baseball player probably ever lived.
Oh, what did he say, though? What's the news with him?
Oh, well, the news is that he just got $700 million for 10 years, and he deferred $68 million a year until after retirement.
Oh, that's smart. But what does that have to do with disclosure? Why?
That's not smart at all.
So deferred to have money until after retirement? Isn't that when most pro athletes go broke?
Yes, it is.
So I feel like that's smart to leave most of your money for then.
No, it's not.
You're going to be making money off advertising.
If you took 68 or 70 million a year, then he could take that 68 and put it in a high yield savings account, and he would get 5% every year for the 68 million.
How old is he?
Shoot, he's probably 29, maybe 30.
What? He's been playing baseball his whole life?
Yeah.
Okay, so he probably doesn't know that, and the people around him are probably not telling him. Telling him things like that.
He very much knows that. So this is the situation. He's deferring $68 million so that the Dodgers can build a team taking up the entire team's salary cap. It's not a salary cap; it's just a luxury tax. But he's doing that so that they can keep bringing in other talent and they can build a championship team around him. So that's what he's doing it for. He's being kind. He's being thoughtful, and more than money, he wants to win.
Oh, that's good for him. I'm happy about that, man.
Yeah.
Get on Far Cry. Obviously, we're playing. But actually, we should talk about. I hate talking about sports, but I feel like there's some interesting stuff there. I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk to you about was this guy from work because he is from Afghanistan and he is Muslim.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm lost.
You can say Muslim. You're an American.
That's fine.
But
anyways,
they say it Muslim.
Which I forgot to tell you this, babe. He did not bring me a Quran today, so that kind of confirms the whole what we were talking about. So now we'll go back for you, Derek, or for you, D. D is Ragin, not Derek. Yep.
Who's Derek?
I don't know that guy. Who the hell is that guy? Never heard of him.
I don't know him.
So yesterday I go to work and I meet this guy and he's really super charismatic and what's up, we're working together and I work for a delivery company and we're working together and if he were a Christian I would call this ministering to me.
Good to see you, Danny.
And so and I would not entertain it and I'd be like, shut up. Or I would be like, I'm gonna go work somewhere else, or any other reason to shut it down. But
just look him dead in the eye and say, "When you die, nothing happens."
No, because I'm not sure. I might believe in reincarnation. I don't know. Probably I do. Some version of it. Anyways, so basically we talk for about 5 hours, and it's mostly like him telling me like little stories about different people. He told me this big long story about this priest.
You think she's going to?
And about he had worked with this guy outside the church. That was a Muslim, and we noticed that he prayed 5 times a day, but he was a priest too. And he was always trying to minister to him, and the dude was always like, no. And then one day he was like, oh, I'm ruining the story. The whole point is the priest became a Muslim. The priest became a Muslim or whatever. So I was asking him questions, and
hey, look, it's Danny.
Just about like what was misconception versus what was actuality, and what the practice looked like, and what was like to live under to live in a what do they call it? Islamic State, or whatever. I'm just running around. Are you in the game yet?
Just loaded up.
What'd you say? Ben?
Bullets are easy. Finding a set of good tools is hard.
You said something about Orthodox. Well, anyways, what I thought was interesting about it was he was compelling, and only in the way that I was like interested because I've studied a lot of I've studied Christianity. I've been a Christian, but I've studied Christianity. Get your ass over here, Derek. You know what time it is.
Continue your damn story, Josiah.
No broken ones or nothing, okay?
This was the wrong mission.
So I don't even remember where we're at or what happened now.
I don't even think you're in my game.
How do we win?
I'm gonna be real with you.
I don't care about that. You're telling a story and you're not even trying to keep up with it.
So the point is he was compelling, and he got me interested in the Quran because I've never read it, obviously, never looked into it, but I've never studied it. And I've studied Christianity. I studied Hinduism a little bit and Buddhism a little bit. I studied other major religions, but I've never really looked at the Quran at all. Which is I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I know the Americanized version of what of the entire Muslim religion, plus the little things I picked up here and there from Aaron or whoever else. But what I thought was interesting is he made this case, because my thing was I was like, okay, so my biggest beef, because he was like, what problems do you have with Islam? You tell me, it doesn't matter if they're offensive, you can say it anyways and I'll explain it to you or whatever. And I was like, okay, so I don't think your women have rights over in those types of situations. It's not saying we're doing the best with equal rights in general over here, but I don't think they get treated the best, I think is what I said. He was like, no, it's great. It's great because women do not have financial responsibility. You know,
Right.
he's like the men in their life are required to like take care of them. Like by law, they're required to take care of them and buy them things, you know, within reason of whatever they do, this and that. But women have no financial responsibility. They can, you know, get a job if they want to. They can educate themselves if they want to.
Yeah.
But they're not responsible for that. They don't have to.
Right.
And I just crashed.
It's not a female gender role that's widely recognized.
Right. So, and my whole thing was like, okay, sure. I was like, you understand how that like, but there's an inherent power with money. Like money makes the world go round. Like, so like, that can all be lovely and great, but like inherently, like the man, if the man's holding the money, he's gonna have the power in the situation. Like, period. And at least there's
well,
a
you
point,
say that,
there's a point
however,
of corruption. I think I said that there's a point of corruption. Wow.
Go lay down. Go.
No, I don't want to lay down.
Keeps getting right up on me because he wants to lay next to me. I understand, but I gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
So, what I'll say to this is money is more powerful for men when it comes to other men and obtaining the mate.
Okay, more like two men. That's like I feel like that's like that's a perspective thing. Like it's like how powerful do I see money as? Like yeah, I would agree with that. But like there's also the objective reality. Like if I am holding all the money in my household, like if Erin wants cigarettes, she has no power to get that, and unless she comes to me and like, hey babe, please, may I have some cigarettes? And it's like, okay, yeah, so I'm responsible to take care of those needs within reason. But it's like, what if I decide that's out of reason, or I'm not responsible for that? Like I have that quote unquote power. Like that's where I was getting at.
Yeah, you manage. See, that's the thing is, traditionally speaking, women still, it may be the man's money, but women still oversee the spending of it. Like
traditionally, I mean, like in Muslim culture or in
well, if we're talking Muslim culture,
yeah, so
then well, here's the thing: is money doesn't really dictate a whole lot in Muslim, whatever.
I think that's interesting that you say that because that was his counter.
He was
like, yeah, you live in the American culture though, where that is money makes the world go round. Like that's not what it is. Like da 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 da. Like we take care of each other, blah blah blah, this and that. And I was like smiling / laughing. I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm like, I used to be. Is that loud? I heard that in my headphones. I just heard a noise. Okay, I was like, I used to be a Christian, so like I understand what ministering looks like, and I feel like you're like I know what a pitch. I think I said I know what a pitch.
Well,
looks like.
Are you arguing that he's wrong?
No, I'm saying that what I said was there's, as a Christian and knowing that like kind of the things to say to sell the Christianity or whatever and like the good things of it, I also turned around and saw the blatant hypocrisy in Christianity, like the blatant hypocrisy in Christians.
People are hypocritical, and the spoken word in and of itself is hypocritical.
I guess I can agree to a point to that. Do you have the headphones, babe?
Well, the whole "thou shalt not do this" and "thou shalt not do that"—it's it's awfully high and mighty of a guy that.
Oh, you're talking about. You're talking about the Bible spoken word, like.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, so let me finish the story here because I want to I just want to touch on the parts that I thought were interesting. So there was that because he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a cultural thing," da da da, and like it kind of got to a point where I was like, "Yeah, I mean, sure, like it sounds great because you're pitching it or whatever."
You're acting.
I'm like, but I'm like I know what Christians pitch. He's like, "Oh, well, that's the difference between Christians and Muslims is that Christians don't talk about belief and faith and what they things that they say. With Muslims, it's all action. It's all about what we do and our devotion to our things and da da da, and this and that. And mind you, like all the things you're saying are like good values, like kindness and helping one another. But like
something has to be haram.
Right. The base of it. And
if it's not haram, then they are not for it.
I don't know what haram means.
Haram is Islamic. It's okay in a holy way.
We really cannot hear you at all. Like,
she said it means it's okay in a holy way.
It's okay in a holy way. Okay, there, you can hear her?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, maybe it's just my mic.
I hear you twice.
You hear me twice?
Yeah, you're so loud that he's hearing you through the phone microphone or whatever.
Yep.
Actually, if you've got an earbud, I'd take it then.
Which is fine, because you're not loud. Like, I don't hear you loudly. I just...
Oh, yes, he
it
is.
just carries.
Derek. Yes, he
Let's
is.
ride.
I'm loud. Let's keep it real.
I'll be honest with you.
I'm loud like that.
Experience way worse.
Why would you get up, honk, and then stay in the driver's seat?
Muchas gracias.
Okay, so there was that, and I was like, what it came to it, he was like, I was like, sure, I could listen to all this, but what it comes down to is that I would have to have conversations with the common woman. Not even me, probably. Like, I would have to see the perspective of the woman, of the common woman, and like living out their life, not living out the life, but like be able to talk to them honestly, because I cannot take that before I would believe anything that he was saying about, oh, because he was like, and the women are happy with this. He's like, everybody's happy, it's great, it works out for everybody. I'm like, I'm sorry, because you're a man, it nullifies like my ability to believe you, because you are in the position of power within, like, in that role.
Well, in that one statement, yes.
Right. That's like
that's
like a white person telling me like, yeah, racism is over.
Yeah, black people are cool now.
It's fine.
Everything's fine. I don't mean cool as in you guys are cool. I mean you guys are good.
No, it's too late. It's on record, bud. Sorry, you're canceled. They're gonna have a cancel meter, and it'll like go up a little more.
I like it.
Every time one of us says something questionable. If it ever like gets full, we just end the podcast right there.
If it's in the sanctity of comedy, it should be okay.
Yeah,
You'll mean it.
We'll let Aaron be the judge. He's the comedic expert here.
Well, I mean, we're racist to each other all the time, back and forth, both ways.
This is true. Well,
and that's very unacceptable to a random person, but to someone you're cool with.
Always. That's kind of.
We love to racism.
Love to racism. Really? Are you gonna? You're eating still, aren't you?
We do.
We do. I just almost canceled.
And ourselves. That's comedy. Also.
I disagree. It's no. No, I just think there should be real life consequences for people who say shit.
Actually, the way you become a Nazi is by hating Nazis too much.
Nazis themselves are not fascism.
They are fascist.
Right, but they're not fascism.
No, I know, but Nazis really do like doing the whole, this idea that somehow the way you become a Nazi is by hating on Nazis too much. Like,
that's an oxymoron.
Yeah, well, so are they.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so the other thing...
hold on, no, let's not move on.
Okay.
We understand that when you start monitoring freedom of speech, you're going down a slippery slope here, right?
Okay, but see... Who are you talking
but
about?
There's also just common courtesy,
like...
Yes, I listen, I 110% agree with that. Shit should not be said sometimes. I 110% agree. But as soon as you start, and there are certain aspects of speech that have been, rightly so, made illegal. Calling someone, not derogatory, racial slurs, that's assault, right?
Well, it depends. I think Indiana just got a statewide hate crimes law, and they've never used it.
There you go. Well, regardless, that is it's in law, and that is a law made to monitor speech. I agree.
You're talking about laws. I'm not talking about, I'm an anarchist, okay? I'm not talking about laws. I'm talking about being able to punch people in the face when they say inappropriate. And then you being okay with it because you shouldn't have said that shit.
And here's the thing, is you can't, like a physical response to a verbal assault is not okay either.
Okay.
See, I disagree because, I mean, scientifically, like verbal abuse causes the same kind of neurological brain damage physical abuse does. And to be honest, the number of physical, like, the times I have been subject to physical violence, I would do it again. I'd do it again in a fucking heartbeat rather than have Joe say one mean thing to me. Because that hurts so fucking bad. But like, oh yeah, like I'll go get in a little street brawl. I don't give a shit. That's like pain.
Yeah, mutual combat. Mutual combat, fine.
Like, I just feel like.
But if I said something,
some assholes should have gotten a fucking.
If I say something, if I say something, and I'm not inciting violence, I don't expect to get punched for it.
No, sure. But on the same way that inciting violence, like calling someone a slur, that's violent. Now
you get in an argument and it becomes back and forth and you're both getting to a point where you're agreeing to fight. This is all getting skewed from what my point is.
Here's what happened. Oh, go ahead. What's your point?
I'm just saying, creating laws to monitor non-hate speech is bad.
See,
I agree.
I don't disagree with that because I don't like laws. See, like that was what I was trying to say. Like talking about laws, I don't. No. People can say what they don't. The government should not be involved.
Morally, people should love thy neighbor and not ever say anything derogatory based on, physical or mental or whatever appearances. Exactly, yeah.
I feel like it's a bit of a moot point, though, because the legislation currently being passed is, in Indiana, it is illegal for my kids' teachers to call them with he, him pronouns if we don't know about it. You know what I mean? So they actually are literally writing laws dictating speech. Which is,
we're heading towards Nazi Germany.
I think we're speed running the whole thing, and everyone is. Fascism's on the rise globally. We all know this.
Okay. Are you guys finished with this?
Yeah, babe, we're finished with fascism.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay. Yeah. What's going on here with the sprites, babe?
I'm gonna drink that.
Where you find that thing?
You know what Joe does not like to do?
Put stuff in the fridge.
Sprite in the refrigerator.
I just took it out the fridge because I'm going to drink it.
So you're saying that in Indiana they passed a law that the teachers cannot call kids by improper or proper pronouns?
No, so what they're supposed to do is when they find out that a kid is gender non-conforming to their birth certificate gender. I'm taking the horse. That they have to notify the parents, which right there is scary because in Haterville.
You're okay.
But then if the parents say, like, if we didn't affirm the kids and said, no, you have to call them girls, they're little girls, those kids would kill themselves in the fucking bathroom. But so the parents' rights basically get to trump actual free speech. In states with these kind of laws, which is, I'm sure you can guess how I feel about the idea of parents' rights. Like, my kid can't sue the state because he's under 18. Like, they're not allowed to sue the state.
Ooh, right. A couple of new points I'm gonna explore.
Well.
But I would not support a law that said it's illegal to misgender me. That's great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would make me feel bad to send someone to a jail? Like, Christ.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. If it becomes illegal to either accidentally or intentionally offend someone, we're fucked. Because you can't you can't have a debate and be truthful about your feelings on a topic without being a little offensive sometimes.
You can't any law controlling speech is not good.
I'm on my way to Valle de Oro.
Well, I'm envious sometimes that Germany has like anti-swastika laws
Yeah.
Because it makes me sick to my fucking stomach that it's literally legal.
That Americans
have a swastika flag outside of the entrance to Disney World.
People got hurt.
Like Disney World's one of the most, Disney is, Jesus, probably top 5 of one of the most powerful corporations on Earth. And they can't stop that shit? That's crazy. Like, that is awful.
Well, I don't have faith in our current justice system to enforce, especially hate crime laws, like free speech laws at all, or any type of speech laws, but especially when it comes to, like, slurs.
SCOTUS is about to overturn a decision, probably, that's going to overturn a bunch of January 6th rioters.
Oh my god, I saw that. I saw that. Like,
so I guess it's legal to do an armed revolution.
Let's go see bullshit. Like, no, it literally, like, I mean, fine. That's okay. You know, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not talking about that because it's gonna piss me off. Okay, so, Muhammad.
Speaking of... Oh, Muhammad. This guy... throwing dynamite on accident. This guy, apparently, you know how Jesus was taken up in, like, whatever, a cloud or whatever, ascended to the heavens or whatever, supposedly. I said allegedly ascended to the heavens on the third, or when he went back and saw his disciples or whatever. This man, this Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or whatever, his ass got taken up in a lightning horse, Derek. A lightning horse. You know what that sounds like to me? Sounds like a UAP, Derek. Sounds like a UAP. Sounds like an unknown aerial phenomenon. Yeah, lightning horse.
I mean, just saying. What else? Is it in the? Is it in there? Okay. Can you identify a lightning horse? What kind of species is that? You tell me. What type of horse? My point is, this man was entertaining the idea of Muhammad being taken by aliens and getting his little. Getting his.
Wiener.
Getting his whatever message from them, which I think, I mean, I'm for that. That sounds awesome. I like aliens. They're cool. That's the end of my interesting notes from talking with Muslims at work.
Well, if I could share a dual crossover between religion and the First Amendment, the Satanic Temple sued in Iowa because they had a Christmas display up at the Capitol.
That's not a separation of church and state, is it?
So, so the way it's supposed to go is everybody gets one. So they got one. They put up a little Baphomet. He looks adorable.
That is fantastic.
Like some
Can we get a picture of that for the viewers?
Yeah. Well, it was vandalized.
Well, obviously, of course it was. None of that Satanism here in America, except for a lot of it. Anyway,
No freedom of religion.
So it was vandalized. Did they catch the perpetrator?
Yeah, I think it's some old white guy who was doing it.
Oh, they did catch him?
I guess. I don't know.
Did they punish him?
It was vandalized beyond repair. Let's see.
He probably, like, threw a rock at it and... Vandalized beyond repair. Oh, related story. We're talking too much about the police, but the related story. Somebody noticed some burn marks, some tread marks in their parking lot at their work here in town, and then called the police, reviewed the security cameras, and noticed that somebody had been doing, wait for it, donuts in the parking lot, causing, and I'm quoting the newspaper here, extreme damage to the parking. So they're now looking for the owner of whatever kind of cars they are. I don't know. I did because that's when I stopped reading, obviously.
Unmarked Ford Expeditions.
Oh, the police.
That's what the cops drive.
It was the police that did it. What she's getting at, I think. Which, I mean,
yeah,
the tracks. Okay, so up next, we are going to talk about. Ready? Disclosure updates. The UFO disclosure updates. Which you jumped into something completely different earlier when I said that, and I don't know what you thought I said. But it wasn't that. It was disclosure updates because I have them for you. And I'm like, like, what's the apprehensive about the whole everything now? Everything. We have more people saying the same things. Oh, actually, no. The same people saying the same things, but with more emphasis. And apparently Canada is some of these crafts that the U.S. Government or what is it? Security. What are they called? Intelligence community captured. They sent to Canada to work with their version of DARPA to help reverse engineer, which I think is hilarious, eh?
It is hilarious.
I think the cancel meter has to go up a little bit for that. That's
yeah,
it.
you might want. Yeah, you can turn your volume up a little bit, babe.
Mine up? Mine up?
Yours up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
So Grush had another actual news interview. He was with News Nation, which I mean, I guess is not super reputable apparently because I don't know. So he had an interview with them, and he was basically like, yeah, the NDAA got voted down. They changed it. They killed the UAP bill, so now the secret holders could keep holding the secrets, basically. He's like, that's garbage. We know who it was. It was these people that are getting money from these corporations. The next time around, these people need to get voted out. Like, that's basically what he was saying. He was like, because they're hiding this stuff, and it needs to come out. Then you have Daniel Sheenan, who I told you about before. He's doing interviews. He's doing a bunch more interviews, too. And he's, like I said, he's going as far as to say that the U.S. has reverse engineered this stuff. They already have a nuke that has its capabilities. They already, are talking to a bunch of different, or not talking to, have made contact before. They already gave out these materials and these, whatever, biological remains to these contractors. So this is what happened. This is the interesting part. So what happened, so after the first Grush, when he went before Congress, the first hearing, although it didn't make a big splash in like the media and people aren't really talking about it, who is noticing it and talking about it is companies. So what you have is corporate entities now who are upset that they didn't get the contract. And they're like, hey, why did you give this stuff to these companies and leave us out to dry when we were better equipped to handle the situation at all? So now you have these corporate entities lobbying Congress now to be like, hey, yeah, get this shit out in the open because we need to know about it, or at least talk about it in back doors. So what you have him saying, the reporter, I'm sorry, now I'm fighting, saying now is that we probably won't get a public disclosure, that it'll all be backroom stuff, because these companies are going to start fighting, because if the Aero companies or whoever it is that has the stuff is able to keep it, or presumably has the stuff, is able to keep it, then they're going to get a huge advantage in the market. And if we're supposed to be functioning by a free market, then that's completely, like, unfair, and I don't know, possibly illegal. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. I mean, I don't remember what he said. He said it was illegal or not. So instead of getting this probable public disclosure, we'll get a backroom disclosure with them deciding whether or not these aero companies can keep this stuff, and if they can keep it, if they're able to basically put patents on it and like own the next age of technology or whatnot. So I thought that was kind of funny. We still aren't getting any more first-hand sources. There still seems to be a split in the UFO community or whatever of like who believes what and how much they believe or whatever. You have now people from the ancient aliens community saying they don't believe this stuff too, which I think is just funny, considering their whole thing. Anyway, so I just wanted your thoughts on that. I know it's a lot.
On which part?
Mostly the companies getting involved, because I think that's actually going to push more disclosure than anything else.
So which companies are we allowing? What type of credentials are required to be one of those companies? And, what do you plan on, like, how, like, is it a reverse engineer and then you produce us military vehicles.
We have no idea. Like we don't have.
Like if Lockheed Martin gets in there, it's all going to be corrupted, but we're going to come out.
Lockheed.
No, Lockheed's been named.
We do know Lockheed specifically has
Lockheed
been named
several times. Lockheed. What's the other one, Dave? That got named?
Almost certainly Boeing is my guess. My guess is if we go to the top 5, they've all got them.
I don't think Boeing was. I don't remember Boeing being named.
Boeing will be in the bid. They're a government contract for our F-22 Raptors.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, then they were named then, probably. Sorry. But there was one other one. It sounded like a guy's name.
Well, Lockheed Martin.
No, another Lockheed Martin.
Oh, and then there's Northrop. Huh? So it's Northrop Grumman is probably one of them. Boeing is almost certainly one of them. I mean, basically, if you just get a list of the top 10 major fucking defense contractors, you just know you're gonna know who they are.
Right. So.
But everything's so compartmentalized. All of the Manhattan Project.
Right. So before you can even work on anything, you're signing up.
Frustrated.
You're getting classified. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, the companies who are already in possession, whistleblowers have revealed that even they are frustrated because everything's so compartmentalized. They don't know what the fuck they're doing with this tech. Like, it's an interesting situation where, like, the dog that caught the fucking car, and the secrecy is literally what is hindering progress. Like, every scientist in the world needs to have access to this shit. Like, every human being, I think, in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we saw what happened with the atom bomb whenever every country had access to everything.
Well,
yeah, but this is shit like 0-point energy.
Okay, so wait, before we go on,
it's like the opposite of the atom bomb.
There's two things I wanted to touch on, because Aaron, you brought up something that I had forgotten to mention, which was I've already forgot it. This is so bad. I remember it was right there. She talked about the company.
It happens so often.
It's so frustrating.
It's
Hold
the
on.
hots.
I have to go backwards because you were talking about the major companies involved. Probably. Oh yes. So yeah, some of the whistleblowers are coming from inside the company. So like from the senators, we can kind of determine that it's a small group of people that don't want this disclosure to happen. Like most people involved want this to happen. It's only a small group that doesn't.
Clearly know that the senators from districts where Air Force bases and Lockheed headquarters are don't want this.
What's the specific? Patterson Air Force Base.
I'm old enough to be okay with them not telling us everything they're working on.
See, okay, so that brings up the other point. Actually, no, I didn't want to get to that point.
Show us you've recovered it, prove that they're there, and then do what you want. Don't disclose the specific technology. I don't care. I would rather you didn't.
See, okay, that is a point that some of the journalists and lawyers and commentators have said. Here's my issue with it, but here's also the secret holder's issue with it. Like, the moment you disclose anything, everybody loses faith in the government. Like the rest of the people that had faith in the government, it doesn't matter. It's all lost. And now, and they said it too. Now all of a sudden, all the while, this conspiracy theories all of a sudden become true. Like even if they have no validation at all.
The problem is communication. A good communication has never been the government's strong suit. It's a simple, hey, we couldn't tell you what was going on because we developed the SR-71 out of this. The stealth bomber, the B-52 or whatever, B-7, whatever the stealth bomber is. I get it. I don't need to know the ins and outs of the details or anything like that. Tell me that we have it.
Right.
Yeah. Tell me that we have it in a clear-cut manner, and I'll just believe you and understand that you don't want to share the information in fear that other countries are going to get it.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
But you have to be better at communicating.
Yeah. No, there has to be some level of at least feigned transparency.
And the answer can't be, can't talk about that at this time, classified.
No, it cannot be that anymore.
Cool.
So, that's actually almost exactly what, I can't remember exactly who it was.
Please say a genius said, please say a genius said, please say a genius said.
No, but one of these journalists, investigative journalists or lawyers, said that almost exactly. because it's like you literally do the same thing you did with nuclear power. Release the nuclear power side of it, and the nuclear anything that has to do with the bomb.
We're about to fuck you up.
Keep it classified. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like I'll take it further.
And that's the thing is like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was gonna say I'll take it with where Daniel's saying. It's like since you if we've developed it or if we're developing it, either way, take this opportunity, reach out to all your enemies, be like, hey, listen, we're developing this, but we don't. This is gonna blow everybody up. This is the world. This ends everybody. Not only that, like if we use this, the likelihood of whatever is up there getting involved when they are not currently involved goes up like 100%, or like non-zero, I should say, by a non-0%. So like, take this opportunity, make a peace treaty, get your world peace, become. Yeah. You can still get your name in the history books. You can still be known. You can still have all that stuff. Like, but hey, be like, hey, listen, we developed this. It's bad. Let's all agree to not make these things, and instead let's get 0 point energy. Let's raise the standard of living. Let's fix the planet. You know, like.
You know how terrified I am of the CERN Hadron Collider, the Large Hadron Collider. You know how concerned I am with that thing. I've been concerned with it since I found out that what they're doing.
You said concern.
I have a major concern. I put it lightly and in a professional way. I have a major concern because you can't be too sporadic or erratic or irrational whenever you talk like this, because then people immediately stop listening and discount you. So you have to be intelligent with these types of conversations. I'm concerned that they are creating the God particle. I'm very concerned about that. For all we know, we're all in purgatory right now because when they started up in 2012, everything ceased to exist. As you know what I mean? Like, there's a very, very good possibility. Not very good. I don't want to form it like that.
Non-zero.
There is, an equal possibility for and against that. We're in purgatory, like we're just not like we're experiencing something because
they all died in 2020, and this is just what
this is like a lost situation. Where none of us knows we're dead. We're all just kind of carrying on, trying to survive still. You know what I mean?
I mean, possibly.
I don't know, because they were supposed to kill us in 2020, and one of the ways I processed it was by trying to figure out how to be my own ghost who still gets a body.
You know, I think I don't think there will ever be anything outside of war that they intentionally do to, like, eradicate population.
Hello.
And this is why I say that, because while they already, like, when I say they, I mean the top 1% of 1%, like
I said, what of you? Sorry, I'm in the game still.
Oh,
waiting for you.
Yeah, that's great, but I can't play and talk in depth.
Failed business operation. How you build your way to success.
No, I don't remember what I was saying.
Sorry.
Depopulation outside of war.
Yes, I don't think, like, I mean, I'm not saying that 2020 wasn't a calculated incident, but I don't think they're going to be so blatantly obvious like that. I think we are on a long time frame waiting game where they're basically turning everybody against each other, collecting all the wealth in the world, and we're going to do it to ourselves. The world is going to get so irrational that people aren't going to have as many kids as they once did, and just slowly and slowly and slowly, it's going to continue that people don't have kids. That's how the population is going to get down to their 10,000 mark.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, and I don't rule out biological warfare, germ warfare.
Yeah, I definitely don't rule out war related.
But then there's also, like, accidental genocide, like
you know, like the whole thing in education, like that the kids just can't fucking read, like that they are just, and it's like, well, it is not just because some schools closed for a few months in 2020.
Right.
And it's not just because of, you know, COVID caused brain damage. Like, the kids are screaming, this isn't working for us. We're getting nothing out of this. Like, this is proof. We have nothing to look forward to. If I know where the red fern grows. Yeah. You know, like
they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
No, and it's difficult to blame them.
Yeah, as obtainable. They don't see that light as obtainable. So it's like.
But that said, we do have things. CRISPR, the gene editing tool. We just figured out they can cure sickle cell. There's a brand new genetic or cellular treatment for lupus. There's what else? Oh, there very well may be a melanoma vaccine, which for me as a redhead would be fucking brilliant.
Yep.
Like,
if I don't have skin cancer,
it'll get better.
Yeah. No, but who's it gonna be for?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the first thing. Like, I think universally, when people hear that there's a sickle cell cure, is awesome, and then they say it better be free. It better be fucking free.
We have higher suicide.
They shouldn't be paying for that shit.
Yeah.
Straight up.
We have a higher suicide rate than ever before. We have a higher the thing killing the most people in America, fentanyl. I mean, there was a kid walking around or crawling around on the floor in a hotel that had fentanyl residue on it, and he died.
But yeah, we've had a couple of those here where the kids have gotten into their parents' fent.
That shit'll kill you instantly.
No, it was really scary because the protest kids, the Zoomers in 2020, finding out that they were doing fent, or they were doing the Percocet. And I'm like, you guys know that has fentanyl in it? And they're like, yeah. Like, because they want plausible deniability. Like, the number one thing keeping half of the world from killing themselves is they don't want their mom to be mad. And so if it's an OD, that gives them plausible deniability. So it really is very scary that young people are that nihilistic and that self-destructive.
Yeah, I would agree that a lot of reason why someone wouldn't self-harm is because of letting someone they care about down. For sure. I would say that was probably my biggest motivation to not suck. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
In like every aspect of my life that I look back on, I can attribute. Is Joe still here?
Better be careful. Yeah.
Okay. I can attribute to not wanting to, like, why I did one thing over the other. I just didn't want to let someone down. You know, like I was doing bad in school because no one really gave a shit. And then my best friend in high school, Nathan, his mom was the principal. And she was like, she looked over me at the lunch, while I was at the lunch table, she was like, you need to work on those grades. I'm like,
that camera needs to go.
Okay. And that was all it took for me to just buckle down a little bit and pass with B's.
Was that interested adult whose approval respected.
Yeah. Someone cared someone cared about my actions. Someone cared about my results. So I was like, plus it was in front of my friends, you know. So it's like, no one wants to be the dumb. Well, some kids don't mind being the dumb one, I guess. Mark does not mind. And it's not that he's dumb, I'm not saying that. He just doesn't mind. He doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like
he doesn't have that competitive.
Not when it comes to intelligence, no.
Right.
His competitive is everything else.
Right.
Literally everything else he's competitive about. But and like I said, he's not dumb. He's just not. He doesn't apply himself. or didn't back then.
Yeah.
Now it does. So what about that? What about like our education system right now, Joe? Like how do we get to a point where, first off, the school isn't teaching the kids everything, and the school isn't completely intruding? You know what I mean? Like, would you say
that we don't need to pivot toward the private school model, like the old British model, where they just beat the shit out of kids?
What needs to change? Like, what needs to happen in American school systems?
I think first, with every system, you have to look at it and be like, did this start evil? Did this start off bad in the first place? And if it did, then we just have to abolish it and try something else. So it's like school, like not so much. I mean, we're talking about education, but I think that the American school system is all around like trash.
Well,
but I think that,
out.
But hold on. But I think that there are a lot of different. I don't know, like I don't want to say private, but like those new types of schools that pop, like those like I don't want to say charter schools, like
Primroses, they're franchise schools.
So the schools that trying something different. Like I think that's a better place to start than public schools, because I think public schools are inherently a failure, like inherently a failure. Like they don't teach the truth at all. Like so, like especially when it comes to things that like
matter.
Yeah. So
like
I think
taxes, interest rate.
Yeah.
Teaching us what interest rates look like progressive over the course of a loan.
I think me and Aaron talked about this a few
refinancing
weeks ago. I think we need to strip it down to the basics and go from there. Like math, language, like I guess basic understanding of the world around you, science. But then we also have to incorporate like things like mental health, economics,
economics already included.
Like dietary things, like things that like are important to us. And then after that, I think we should let kids decide. Like, what do you want to learn? And I'm the one of like, yes, I think it's really important for kids to stick with something, but I also think it's very important for kids to be able to try out a bunch of different shit. Like
have things available to them.
To try.
Well, the problem is they take teachers and classes away and don't reduce higher ups' salaries, like superintendent salaries.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Teachers, we gotta redo how we treat the whole teacher thing. Like the ratio of teacher
I
to
think
student,
there should be a minimum,
and I think
for both teachers and cops. There should be like a state minimum.
States, all they do in the face of this teacher shortage is continuously roll back teaching standards.
Yep. Oh, well, that's
Wait, you said teaching what? I didn't hear you.
Teaching standards.
Teaching standards. So, like in Indiana, you don't actually. There's a whole bunch of states where you no longer need a degree in education to teach. Like any degree, they'll just be like, "Oh, this is fine." But the problem is that I don't think they do a great job teaching teachers how to teach in the first place. But the only thing worse than that is letting people who don't know how to teach. So, just because, like, I know a whole bunch of stuff, it doesn't make me the best instructor of those things.
Right.
Yes.
Like, if I don't know how to talk to kids, if I don't know how to properly explain, the concept.
Right.
Or if I don't know how to engage people, like if I don't know how to meet people where they are, all these. If I don't even like kids, like the number of teachers who are married to cops, it's very similar to nursing. And you get a lot of people who have an innate need to be in power over incredibly vulnerable people, i.e. children.
Yes.
They have no legal right.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think that's a really good point you make, is that like we need a better way to vet the people who hold a higher responsibility.
I think that's going to be an automatic thing. Well, not automatic thing. I think it could be an automatic thing if we redo our financial system. I'm not saying we get rid of money. I'll love it, whatever. But I'm saying that if you eliminate the initiative of money and power, if
the problem is capitalism.
Yeah, you have that. But I'm saying, but even so, in capitalism, if congressmen are paid minimum wage, I mean, you have to raise minimum wage also. But like that changes things.
Minimum wage is 15 now, isn't it?
Congressmen are not paid anywhere near
federally
15.
it's still 7, whatever.
Really?
Yeah, the Indiana is still.
And then
what are you making in Indiana?
It's 7 in Indiana, but you'll make more because people have to raise their wages.
What if you don't mind me just text me, Josiah.
Oh, what am I making?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind. I make 17.40.
17 and a half? 17.4?
No, 17.
Okay.
Alright,
that's cool. That's not bad. And
minimum,
especially for where you're at.
Yeah, but minimum wage is still substantial. They can't afford that. Like some places
might not be able to. You know, everyone wants to bitch about inflation and how expensive groceries are, but I don't know. I haven't talked to a single person that makes less. My 18-year-old niece makes 15.
I'm good.
I made 5 something in 2006. I made 5 something. You're making 7 something. Like your minimum wage over there is 7 something. Like that's. It's the repercussions of giving, you know, like the lower skilled positions more. I'm not against it. Trust me. I was never against it. I was always for raising the minimum wage because things were expensive.
Wait. What's repercussions of what?
Huh?
Inflation is repercussions of raising the minimum wage.
No, actually no. That's not true. That's just not true.
Prove me wrong.
No, well, we can actually because
I'm not being argumentative. I mean, you don't have to say it so snidely. Just prove me wrong.
For example, there's a guy running for state rep in Indiana. Sure, I got you. Indiana. Oh, I tweeted about it. Blue tweet about it.
But yeah, continue, sorry.
Indiana state rep whose family is implicated in a 10-year egg price fixing scheme.
I'm not saying it's the only reason for inflation. There's also shortages of supply. Just keep going, Joe.
Well, I actually might have a. That wasn't me. That was there. I might have a. Actually, might have a video for you.
Okay.
I'll have to find it. That I'll have to look up and find. But I think I will. But if not, I can find something. Sure. But anyways, wait. What were we talking about?
You're just saying I'm wrong, and you're trying to prove me wrong.
Hold on one second.
Oh, babe, it's 8:20.
I know. I'm waiting for the plugs to pull up.
Oh, bad.
Yeah. I feel like leaving tonight.
So that's just one small example of how over any amount of time that the consortiums themselves are the ones directly causing inflation via price gouging.
Well, then we can file lawsuits against them because there's a price floor and price ceiling for like 90% of consumer goods.
Right? Didn't the egg companies just get
17 mil?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's the same way, like, when there's a workplace disaster and OSHA fines the company, all that money just goes to the federal government.
So these fines will not go back to American consumers. That $17 million just goes straight to the government. So it's like the military-industrial complex just feeds itself, how the prison-industrial complex just feeds itself. It's like corporate regulation feeds itself, I guess.
It's one of those misconceptions that they perpetuate because it works out for them. But it's like we haven't seen a national minimum wage since we were what 2008, 2009, I think.
I literally don't know. I'm looking it up right now. 2009.
Yeah, I thought so because I remember. Because I remember I went from 5.15 to 6.15 to 7.15 or 7.10 or something like. I remember when it was at that time.
So
it was 3 years in a row.
Okay.
It was 3 years in a row. Yeah.
This is a price fixing situation over eggs, right?
That's one example.
So right.
Okay.
Just one example.
I understanding that there are elements of corporate espionage or gouging, fixing, understanding that there is probably plenty of that. It can't go for everything. Used cars, the demand is way up, the supply is way down. Why is the demand up when the supply is down?
Because people can't afford new cars.
Exactly. And people aren't selling their cars as much.
No, we got really lucky with our van. It was 900 last year.
Our van?
Yeah, more. We have more than made up for it over the last year. But it's 700. Even when it dies, we'll probably be able to get that for it.
So point being, understanding supply and demand is also a thing.
Well, but why
everything?
Why is the supply for new vehicles so huge when the demand is not that high? Like GM, still they have 2022 trucks sitting on the lot at our local GM plant that never quote unquote got the microchips from China,
which probably didn't. They probably didn't.
I think a little bit of it's fucking bullshit. I think it's lies, to be honest with you.
Wait.
Well, do you remember what happened on
these microchip companies here? The governor and all the mayors in Indiana are hell-bent on turning this place into a microchip factory. And I think blaming China for shit that the ordinary American cannot prove or disprove is
I'm not even blaming China.
No, not you. I'm saying the politicians.
No, I'm saying. Oh, okay. But I'm saying, like in my argument, I'm not even blaming China. Are they working towards cornering the market in microchips? Yeah, or in semiconductors? Yes. But my point is there was a point in time during COVID where you couldn't get your crates off of the docks because of tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
And when you could, it was like $4,000 for stuff. To like, I don't know what it was like $4,000 a day for your crate to sit on that thing. Our supply distribution, that we have the supply. It's sitting on a boat. It's sitting on a dock in New York, not getting distributed to the United States. That's what's happening. That's how the supply was chokehold, or like we had a chokehold on supply due to all that. Like, do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So there was a chokehold. Therefore, now we have a massive demand, but no one can afford it because of 2020 and the fact that that's roughly about the time when the minimum wage went up around the United States. And everyone was making pretty good.
Minimum wage was raised in 2009, not 19. 2009. So 14 years ago.
Not to $15.
To $7.25.
It's never been raised to $15.
Yeah, the federal minimum wage right now is $7.25.
Yeah, I understand that, but like in these states like California, Illinois, there are numerous states that the minimum wage went up to 15. To operate in those states, you have to pay those wages, which means you have to charge more for your product. So all of that is like all reasons why.
Well, it looks like this is from EPI, the Economic Policy Institute, which is not particularly left-leaning. Is worst case scenario inflation. With the worst case scenario in inflation, where every penny in extra pay that results from moving the federal minimum wage to $15 by 2027. So if we did that and every drop of it went into higher prices, it would only be a 5-year stretch of 0.1% per year of inflationary pressure. So even if everybody went to 15, and even if all of those wage increases went to direct price increases, it would 1% of 1%. So I don't think that's adequate to explain it. And frankly, I do believe that corporations abso-fucking-lutely see that we will pay $6 for a dozen eggs. Oh. And they literally will say, fuck it, make it 8.
Well, I think it's just in line with what the people at top do. They squeeze us for every penny. Like, and I also look at, hold on,
there's literally no reason for insulin to cost even a penny.
I also just Oh, I was gonna say, I look at it in like, I'm looking at it in simplistic terms. Like, yes, the 2009 was the last federal, and yes, states have changed it since then, but only in the last few years. Like, so from 2009 to 2019, we'll say, so in that 10-year span, prices were still going up. Like, inflation was still on the rise. Like, at no time of that, I was locked up, in between that time, I was locked up twice for 30 days. And both times in 30 days I came out, everything was like at least 25 cents more. And like, we don't notice it because it's gradual, but like, you go away for a little bit and come back, you notice things. Like, so I'm looking at it, I know it's a simplistic way of seeing it, but it's just like, yeah, in 9 years before anybody put their wage up to 15, prices were still going up everywhere. Every year the prices were going up. So how could then getting the $15 raise in some states have such drastic effects on all products everywhere for inflation to skyrocket like it has the last like 3 years? Like, and then we look at companies like Nestle, who just successfully lobbied California lawmakers to start privatizing like water. Like, hold on, to start tapping into like the state's what is it? Hold on, I don't want to misquote this. Essentially, they're getting into the state's water now. They're like, it's not really a human right to have water, so we're gonna start, taking advantage of this. Like, this is what they do. And I don't mean they as in the entire company. I mean the people at top that are making the decisions.
Well, it's even, you can see it with our own rent. We are going to get another $100 rent increase next month, whether we like it or not. You know what I mean? Like, we got one last year, we're gonna get the one this year, and eventually we're gonna get to the point where we literally can't afford it anymore.
I don't know. But
here, the battery's dying on this. Good night, Derek. I hope you get good rest tonight.
Night, Aaron. Sorry, I'm reading what Joe sent me.
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly, because I found articles. I could pull up different versions of statistics, but I mean, there's always articles. Like, oh, it's still. Oh, okay, there it goes. Oh, babe, I wanted you to talk about Starfield. Okay, well, Aaron's side of Starfield, and it makes her want to throw up, and it's boring, and it's Fallout in space, she says.
What's Starfield?
Fallout in space. It's like a new game.
I could see why it would be boring.
It's Fallout in space. Like,
I could see why that'd be boring.
Oh, the flying part could be fun, but you would also probably get nauseous there. Well, I mean, it literally looks like Fallout. Like, it looks like Fallout. It looks like Fallout Space Edition is what it looks like. They could have just named it Fallout Space. So yeah, I was hoping that we'd talk about that, but that's okay. That also, No Man's Sky got an update. Christmas is coming up. Christmas is just a few days away. This episode is brought to you by Christmas. Merry of it, or happy the holidays, you know, whatever you're into. Or Hanukkah, or whatever.
Lara, I'm near some sort of metal
I just
factory.
work here.
Shit.
Derek, have you got all your presents?
That's
the question. You've done all your shopping.
All but a couple gift cards.
Boom. I have one final gift to get, and I can get it at the store. So, I'm feeling pretty stoked. Feeling pretty excited. Are you expecting anything?
No.
Is there anything that you're wanting specifically?
No.
No. It's gonna be.
I'm to the point. Where I just buy whatever the fuck I want, whatever I want. So I don't really need anybody to buy me anything for Christmas.
That's wonderful.
Now, if someone can think, if someone can think of something that I want that I don't know I want,
I have a new follower, even though there's nobody watching the stream. That's crazy. Thanks for the follow, whoever that was.
They might be watching, you just don't know.
Maybe. Ruin the party cast. Fucking not having a party. It's just a cast. Fucking hell. Anyways. Oh, good. Well, that was a short Christmas segment. I thought you were going to be talking about all your presents.
Oh, I can't talk about what I've got.
Oh, you don't want other people to see the stream and
right, exactly.
ruin Christmas. Right, of course.
Exactly.
What was I thinking? Because we're so goddamn famous.
Yep.
Everybody watch. Oh!
Everybody's gonna see this.
I forgot to tell you, I don't know if I texted you or not, but we got copyright claimed for our first Partycast.
What?
YouTube copyright claimed it. Because of the radio in the car, the music that it plays. Remember I kept talking about the music and how it's awesome?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we got copyright claims. So in case we make any money off that video, we can't make any money off that video. So, I know, it's upsetting.
That was a good show.
Yeah, and we were definitely going to go viral off of that particular one.
Yep, that was it. That was the one. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was with the talk of, you know, fixing our systems and UAPs and whatever else you and Aaron were talking about, the space age. Do you think we're coming close to the space age? And what do you think that's going to look like for humans? Actually,
what do you mean space age?
Before
like
that,
living in space, travel into space.
Travel in space. Before that, there's one last thing I want to talk about with the disclosure. Daniel Sheenan said, and I don't know where this guy's getting his information from. He's not divulging any of his what do you call them? Sources. Wow, that's crazy. I couldn't remember what sources was. I think I must be tired. He said that some of these crafts that the U.S. has in their possession, blah, 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 or somebody, which Aaron, shout out to Aaron for theorizing this 3 years ago, are controlled literally consciously. You are using your brain. I did tell you this already, Aaron. The interfaces are conscious interfaces. Like, that is, if that's true. So this is all alleged, guys. So don't quote me on this. I'm quoting somebody else. This is alleged per somebody's sources. That some of these crafts, some of these UAP crafts, or at least one of them, or whatever, that we have or had or seen or have flown, literally have consciousness interfaces. The other thing was, he also said that these programs are also experimenting mostly close to successfully with essentially like teleporter technology. That's why I can't hear you. There, Raging.
There he goes.
There he is. So how much did you not hear?
I mean, just like the last 15, 20
Basically, they're working on teleporters. They're close to getting teleporters. So, question one: do you believe any of this shit? Question two: now, if it's true, what does that look like? Do you think that we're getting close to the space age?
Like,
can we reach it? Like, it's like from where we're at right now. If we're not all dead from 2012, which you guys are depressing. If we're not all dead from 2012, from where we are right now as a human
Who
society,
cares if we are dead? We're
us.
experiencing it all the same.
Facts. I heard that. That's gonna be the clip for this episode, I think, right there. Could like pretend that we're deep, but then.
Right.
So
and then we're shallow as a puddle.
so one, do you believe it? Two, what's like space age? Just anything. I keep throwing dynamite on accident.
I don't know
what.
I don't know whether or not we're getting to the space age and what that means. I'll speak to the specifics. Just go. I'll get teleported to you.
That was not me. That was from the driver.
Try to keep it in one piece, okay? Thank you.
I'll kill him next time he says something to me. Don't know if it's real. That's fair. Who knows?
Well, what I'm saying is I don't know what. Obviously, we're moving towards a time.
Viper just sent me a message. That's not letting him type in the chat. That's not right, Viper. I'm so sorry. I will try to get that fixed. He's our viewer apparently.
Hi, Viper.
Welcome to the. What is this? Partycast.
The Joe Show.
The Joe Show. Joshua. It's Joshua. It's Joshua. But anyways, you don't know. Or wait, you were saying maybe you do believe.
Well, clearly we're moving in that direction.
Congressmen, senators, journalists, lawyers saying this stuff is real, saying this that they've seen stuff with their own eyes now.
Clearly we're moving in that direction. That's all I'll say to that.
Right.
But as far as teleporting goes,
that sounds crazy, right?
It sounds crazy, but I think anybody would be.
Hold on, Aaron, join back in. What'd you say, babe?
I don't think so. I think anybody would be arrogant to say they know for sure that it's not possible because at one point flying wasn't possible. At one point, so many things weren't possible. Cell phones, internet, none of it was possible.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying that it's not possible. I just can't fathom a means of transferring matter without
zero-point energy.
Well, then you're not transporting. That's not transporting. 0-point energy. You're still.
No.
You're just moving very fast.
That much. I'm saying without having that much like power.
Well,
yeah, that's what I wanted.
I don't know how to. Well, what I'm saying is I don't know how you would transfer mass in that way without scrambling everything.
Yeah, I have no idea, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, there would be an automatic innate fear in me to do anything like that because I wouldn't be able to fathom how they could get my body makeup the exact same.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, what he said was he was referring to an object. I don't know if they're talking with I don't know if they're talking about doing people yet. Viper, we are not playing. We're just talking. Like we were supposed to be playing, but Derek he's not good.
I'm here.
He's not good at talking and playing. I mean, yeah, we're just standing around, but you're down.
It's possible that instead of actually transporting matter, that it's some sort of dimensional stimulation bullshit that will upset people.
Sure, I would not be upset if that's the case. I'll be 100% honest. If it's a dimensional loop, like we're able to touch the fourth dimension, I would not. I could get behind that because there's.
Yeah, one sec, man.
Even trying to fathom what another dimension would look like blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Who's to say other dimensions even look?
Listen, I literally cried for about 15 minutes because I was so upset about how higher level dimensional entities might see us. Like, because maybe they see us like an MRI sees us, like in slices.
Well, think about what you see on a 2D really surface.
Sad. Well, exactly. Like, but I think it's more that they can see us as we are, but plus. Like some sort of aura or energy or some shit like that.
Wouldn't we just be a less rounded object? Like a less like a.
The way Carl Sagan explains it is basically like because it's hard for 3D creatures to visualize. You know what I mean? Like how?
Oh yeah.
he actually does there's a great like 4-minute video of Carl Sagan explaining, I think but he uses kind of the flat-land model of the 2D creatures. And what if these 2D creatures were to encounter a 3D orange being dropped upon them? I don't know how to invite you,
Sniper.
Like, what is it? That's what they do in Star Trek, right?
Hold on,
they kill everybody?
What happened?
In Star Trek, don't they basically kill you every time you get beamed up?
No. No.
I think
they do not.
The whole damn ship system.
They do not. They do not. They do not. That's not how it works in Star Trek. That's how it works in Borderlands.
That is how it works in Borderlands.
I know, it's fucking awesome and also like weirdly freaky. Like I don't want that because then I'm dead. It's just someone who thinks that they're me, but I know that it would kill me. So I would wake up. I would come to knowing that I just killed myself and that I am now not myself. Like I'm some.
Did you mute your mic, Josiah?
Can you still hear me? Oh, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear myself through that.
It looks like your mic is muted. On the thing.
I hear you through Aaron's device, but that's it.
Through yours.
You shouldn't be able to hear me through yours because you're double muted on mine.
I don't have you muted.
Oh.
Go ahead.
See, I'm the opposite, babe. I literally don't care. Like, I don't care if I'm me but dead. I feel that way every day. I should be my own ghost.
Sorry, Hyper. I didn't know. Oh my God, he is raging in this area. Sorry, I didn't know you didn't know. I just thought maybe you could get a third person here. I was confused by your question. But he's not playing, so I should kick him.
Okay, I'm actually gonna go.
Okay, so we do have. Oh, that was our last topic. So wait, before you go, babe, do you have any topics you want to? Anything you want to talk about, discuss in the Partycast?
On our fucking billionaire corner.
Okay, billionaire corner, love that.
So Elon Musk bought Twitter and ruined it, and then made an AI called Grok. What we just learned today is that his 3-time baby mama Grimes is the voice of an AI child's toy called Grok, where the copyright predates the AI. So he stole his fucking thing. But also I'm slightly concerned that anyone is going to let a toy teach their child that is voiced by a raging crypto-fascist such as Grimes. So that's what hot is voting there for.
So his bad idea was stolen.
He stole from his baby.
Ah, that guy.
He wanted jurisdiction in Texas so that his child could even he's literally the richest.
Yikes.
Oh, and he won't return.
He won't what?
X, the little boy, he's had the one little boy of the 3 of his 12 away from her for like the last 6 months.
Isn't that called kidnapping if you're not a billionaire?
Well, not the billionaire establishment, which is what they're doing currently, and it's a hilarious mess.
I cannot see anything in this car.
Anyway, again, that's the news from the Billionaire Corner.
So, thank you, Aaron, from the Billionaire Corner. We hate them. I hope that they get aided up.
I do think Grimes could. I feel like I personally could save them.
You what with her?
I could save her.
Aaron can save Grimes.
I could.
Everybody else has got to go. So I wanted to tell you, Derek, I have ulterior motives. I'm gonna confess them now. Are you ready?
Yep.
Which I forgot to mention earlier. Still, no, like major big news outlet has picked up any of this UAP stuff.
The New York Times wrote about it today.
New York Times wrote about it today?
Yeah.
Okay, so the New York Times picked it up today. I just found out from a very reliable source. But aside from that, it was News Nation and the Daily Mail and some other ones. So we should probably see some other news places pick it up. But in the meantime, these little stations and YouTube channels that have been talking about it have been blowing up with views and whatnot. So those are my ulterior motives. Maybe our Partycast will blow up because we're talking about UFO stuff. Alright.
I like it.
I'm not sorry about it. I'm gonna be there with you. You gotta stay relevant. That's what the kids are saying. I think Hyper left once he realized that
I hear roosters.
you were in the game.
This must be the place.
I feel bad. I'm gonna kick you.
I was playing well before you joined.
Ah, well. What is that noise? Oh, it's the pigs burning. Oh, that's bad. Oh, birds. Never mind. Collect and juice up. Juice eggs. But I was gonna say the only thing that lacked, was that we weren't really doing anything objective, like in the game. And we just need to talk about the game a little bit more, a tiny bit more. But otherwise, it was pretty good. But then you just did it the whole time, so.
Bye-bye, birds.
Are you killing the birds?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I did a mission like that when you were on. How come I can't take these eggs? Stop! They attack me when you shoot the egg.
The point is to destroy the egg.
Oh. So why does this... Oh, okay. That makes sense. Somebody forgot to read the objectives. Oh, okay, folks. Well, that's it. That's it. That's the end of the regenesis of the Genesis of the Partycast. I'm your host, Josho. The Joe Show, featuring Josho. With my co-host and enemy of the state, he is Raging. Color commentator with no color.
I'm white.
Racial. That one's really racial.
I'm white.
And our... No. You're the co-host. Aaron is the color commentator, and also in the studio, and also an expert on the scene. Thank you for joining us. It's the on-the-fly Partycast. Oh, I already said this part. I should have like a cool outro or something, like Jarvis. Shout out to Jarvis and Jordan Adika and Jarvis Johnson. Shout out to those two guys, sad boys, fucking awesome. They inspired me to start a podcast, Partycast. So tune in next time. We should say we love you and we're not sorry. Would you think they'd be mad about that? They'd be mad about that. Huh? What should our outro be, Raging? What should our outro be? Oh my god, I bet you he can't connect to party chat right now. That's why he's not talking. What a nerd. The outro is gonna be smoke weed every day. I shouldn't say that, just in case kids are watching.
It would be fitting.
It would be, but also illegal. Unless you were in a legal state. I'm in a legal state. I am in an illegal state. So
I am in a legal
state. Smoke weed every day. That's gonna be the outro. I don't know how to stop the broadcast. I forgot to work the buttons.